Guys, rumors are abound involving Justice League and the Flashpoint movie. Many insiders are telling a similar story about Warner Brothers and their plans based around how Justice League will be received. Let's talk about it. What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. Hey, if you love comic book movies, subscribe to this channel. We do all sorts of content about those types of movies. Oh, and shout out to Apexalon, who got the nerd card question correct on my Justice League being seen in China video. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to the Justice League, so shout out to you. There will be another nerd card question at the end of this video. Now, I don't have to tell most of you this, but there is a lot riding on this Justice League movie. You might have even heard me say that several times in other videos, but this is becoming more and more apparent as we hear little rumors and tidbits coming out of insiders that basically get to hang out with Hollywood people and hear stuff and then tell us about it. One of those such things is the fate of the Flashpoint movie. Apparently, this movie really hangs in the balance, and Warner Brothers is playing wait and see with Justice League to decide exactly what kind of a movie they will turn Flashpoint into. The script for this Flashpoint movie is finished, but they haven't moved on any directors. Now we're hearing that the production for the movie and a few other DC movies are really gonna slow down and wait to see what happens with Justice League. If JL bombs, it's possible they will put the kibosh on some of these movies. Justin Kroll, who's a Variety reporter, was recently doing a Meet the Movie Press podcast, and he said this: "I've been tracking a lot of movies, specifically Flashpoint. I've heard they've slowed their director search way down. I don't know if they're giving everyone their own movies now. Aquaman's already shot, so we'll see. Obviously, Cyborg is not happening anytime soon. Neither is Man of Steel 2. I've heard the studio say, let's see how this movie does before we go forward with all these other movies." To me, this probably means they are deciding what type of movie Flashpoint will be, not deciding whether or not it will exist. Based upon how Justice League is received, there's a possibility that they will use the Flashpoint movie as a sort of soft reboot for their status quo. I've actually said this before when, after San Diego Comic-Con, a lot of fans noticed the Flashpoint title for the Flash movie. It is literally a way for them to see what works with Justice League and then change stuff based upon what the fans want. They could do this with recasting. They could do this with changing the background of certain characters. They could literally give us the more iconic, more comic book based versions of the characters we know and love and allow some of the darker, grittier stuff to sort of fade away. There is a slight possibility that Warner Brothers is considering abandoning their shared universe strategy completely. I spoke to this several weeks ago when Jeff Johns and some others at Warner Brothers made strange comments about the DCEU. They actually said that it's not called the DCEU, which, shut up, it is. I think if you look through the politicking that a lot of the people behind the scenes are doing and actually cut through all the jargon and see what they're actually talking about, it is on the table for them to abandon the shared universe idea and basically not be held down by continuity. It's possible they'll make different kind of movies and maybe even a new imprint of films that are DC related but don't tie into one big methodical story. Hopefully, Justice League will just blow everyone away and we will keep the shared universe and the characters that we have. Although I wouldn't necessarily mind some kind of a shakeup based upon Flashpoint. But that is the news. A lot hinges on Justice League, including what kind of a movie Flashpoint will end up being. What do you guys think in the comments section? Do you think that Flashpoint could be used to save what works within the DCEU and allow other stuff to fade away? Or is that still too radical of an idea that basic movie-going audiences will not be able to get behind? Do you think it's okay if we let the DCEU die and just keep making DC movies? Or do you want them to fix the continuity that they currently have set up? Let me know those and more more in the comment section below. All right, let's check that nerd card really quickly. I want to know, what is the name of the Justice League villain that is a cyborg of sorts that sort of absorbs the powers of all the different League members? He becomes a one-man Justice League and is super hard for them to take down. What is the name of that villain? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya!